First off, I want to give all praises and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles of GMS and elders who have continued to teach us this truth. Salutations to all the hopeful elect, all the Akim who in sincerity are continuing to push this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, regardless in what country they find themselves in. I want to start off by this guy Ricky Grants. Rubbed me the wrong way, so-called Edomite. And so start off his videos. He don't have many videos. Two videos he has from 2014, 2013, which is 6 years ago. The one from 5 years ago has 471 views. Since then, nothing till 2 weeks ago. Alright? This guy's just trying to make a name for himself. It's getting closer to the end, so you see all these Edomites, they're struggling. Their kingdom is falling apart. So they don't know what to do. Even his first video ever put out on this page only had 169 views. With that being said, this is how I know he's trying to make a name for himself and trying to get views. So you see all these views since 2 weeks ago because he has no video in the past 5 years till 2 weeks ago. Only have 4 views. Well, here we go. Here's the interesting part. I'll show you. Oh, there you go. GMS. Apostle Tahar, right? He's talking about GMS. There you go. 45 views. Look at that. See? See what I mean? And then nobody watches his videos, man. Nobody watches his videos. And then we come over here again. He puts what? Hebrew Israelites. And look at his views. And then they drop again. Here you go. Telling you. Look at his views. Apostle Tahar, GMS, that's what's making his views go up. But see now, look at his views. Look at his fucking videos. Look at that. No views. No views. Why? Why? Because people are waking up. Yo, the two-thirds are still gonna fall into this. My thing is, he claims that GMS and apostles of GMS, Apostle Tahar, are false prophets. It can't be. And we know why. Christianity has been the biggest false prophet out there. They create false prophets, right? Christianity does. Catholic, Roman Catholic. It's all the same. Like I said before, his ministry, and he took it off of here. I made a video on him. I'll come back to him right here. I believe it was G22 Ministries. Yes. This is his damn ministry. As he says, Got radio show, all this stuff, Events. This is events for the month. What does he got going on? Come on. What are you doing, man? You ain't doing shit. And I was going on here because his thing actually started he talks about his stupid life. But like I said, it's just Edomites. He has a radio show. I can't find it now. You cannot. No, I believe this church started in 2012. So not too long ago. And I can't find it anymore. Must update. I don't know. I was just looking at his stuff the other day. But anyways, let's go back to this guy. Because obviously, what got me and how I found out about this guy, he had posted some comments. He had posted a comment about how Ecclesiasticus, reincarnation, basically. He's basically saying Apostle Tahar is a false prophet because his prophecies haven't come to pass, and that makes him a false prophet because he's self-proclaimed and his prophecies have never come to pass. Another thing was that he was trying to say that there's no such thing as reincarnation in the Bible, which we did pull out some scriptures. And
Shalom. Infant child in his.
Oops. Let me see what video it was. I forgot. So, here we go. Ecclesiastes. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. But like I said, going back into his page, he's just trying to make a name for himself. He only got 72 subscribers, Which supposedly, if he's out here doing this and he has all these followers with him, he should have more views. So this is another thing. This is how we know we're getting closer to the end of times. Why? Because we know this kingdom is fallen. So what's going on? He's trying to make a name for himself. What's going on? Does he not have money? Can he not give funds? Does he need more Jakes to go into his church? Does he need the 2/3 in there? What's going on? Does he need more Edomites in there? What's going on? Does he need heathen to go into his church? You know? Ask yourself those questions. You know, these are those false prophets that come up, that arise. And I'm going to go into a couple verses here that talk to us, you know, and it's just for us. This is only for the elect. This is Luke chapter 1 verse 68. Blessed be the Lord power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and had risen up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we shall be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So you can see there, you know, obviously this guy goes off on a lot of things, you know. He's trying to make it seem like he knows everything. He tries to go out there and do videos, this and that in his little office with books behind his, you know, in the background, trying to make it seem like he's knowledgeable in things, which this guy is not. He's full of shit, you know. He tries to go out there, and what does he call it when he goes out there? He calls it, there's a video where I seen his, preaching at the third annual Flood the Sidewalk. They say call it Flood the Sidewalk, whatever. You know, they're trying to be like the apostles of GMS who go out there on the highways and byways. You know, but like I said, they go in the name of that second Jesus that Paul talks about, that deception. You know, because obviously if we go into Revelation chapter 1 verse 1, or it gives us the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angels unto his servant John. So, correction on my part. This is servant John. But anyways, in this chapter we get who the Messiah looks like, you know? Hamashiach, so-called Jesus Christ, you know, is the Hamashiach. And verse 14, it tells us his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if it burnt in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Right? But if you can't see it, if this is hidden unto you, is because obviously it's not for you. This is not for everybody. Let's go into the this is Galatians Galatians Shalakia Galatians chapter 6 and verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have receiving in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the world communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So knowing what we're doing out here in this truth, knowing once we are woke, I guess you could say, once we're risen from the dead, because we're like the Walking Dead, basically, not knowing this knowledge, not knowing what's to come, not knowing who is the true Hamashiach, not knowing who our true Savior is. This whole time we have been fooled, mocked, and this is our enemies. We gotta know who our enemies are. This is Baruch, chapter 4, verse 5. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved Yahweh to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not unto Yahweh. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you. Going on. This is going out to all you 2/3 and all you Edomites out there. Especially all you lower Edomites out there who don't know nothing. This is Amos chapter 5 verse 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh Yahweh Shai. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord Yahweh Yahweh Shai is darkness and not light, buddy. You hear that? All you wicked 2/3 out there, and all you Edomites, all you heathen out there who think you could convert into something that you are not. This is not your heritage. So how can you come back into remembrance if this is not for you? This has never been for you. Your job, you have a specific job, and you're fulfilling that job. But some of you lower Edomites don't know that. You're dumb. As a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, and went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. It's telling you. There's no good coming out of that day, when he comes back. You think it's gonna be all fun and games, rainbows and singing all your stupid little songs. But you're dead wrong. Let's go into Ezekiel chapter 37. And I'm just going off by the Spirit. I have nothing written down. I'm just flipping it and going. So hopefully the Spirit is leading me. It says, chapter 37, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay swines upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the